two, one, action.
Hi everyone, this is Victoria Wolders, your My Kids Locker Empathy Tales podcast host. We're so glad that you've joined us today for another story, a story that is meant to create compassion one story at a time. For those that are new to listening to our episodes, I am Victoria Wolders. I am a teacher, a mother, a wife, and a mindful educational storyteller. The point of me sharing all these stories were stories I told my own kids at their bedside. James currently is 11 and Sarah is 13. Taking the time in the evening to share a story that is a positive narrative that talks about compassion and empathy and perspective taking is my goal. And this is a legacy piece for my children, but also I use it for my own grade 4 students currently. Well, if you are interested in connecting with me, feel free to reach out to me at my website at mykidslocker.com. This story today is called The Majestic Misfits. It came about from a movie called The Greatest Showman. The Greatest Showman movie is about many different people in the beginning of the 20th century, make a correction, who decided to create a circus. They all had very different skills and strengths and talents, but often the people who were surrounding them in the culture at the time thought they were misfits. So this story is about the oak and eagle kingdom and about animals that don't necessarily fit in. And it's about the communities coming together to create an amazing zoo that will celebrate and honor many different animals and their uniqueness. I hope today you will be able to think about how you're unique and what your strengths are. I hope that you come away today with learning a little bit about how we should celebrate everyone's uniqueness. Well, without further ado, I hope you are comfortable because now I will begin. Once upon a time, a long time ago, in the land of the Oak and Eagle Kingdom, in the land of the Northern Eagle, there lived the wizard of the land of the Northern Eagle, and he looked kind of like a polar bear, but with no fur. He was a giant, but he was also a wizard, and he liked to create things. So, over a period of months, he decided to create a whole bunch of very interesting animals. He created a zebra, he created a giraffe, he created an aardvark. Well, what ended up happening was that all these misfit animals ended up going into the majestic mountains in the land of the Northern Eagle. And they adapted themselves to the cold, frigid land of the majestic mountains. Unfortunately, there ended up being a series of landslides, and the exact area where these misfit animals lived was completely devastated. So they went down the mountains and began to spend time in the villages. Well, the villagers were not very happy. These misfit animals were created, but there was only one created. They were each healthy, but they did not age and they did not grow unhealthy. So they ended up... The wizard of the land of the Northern Eagle noticed that these misfit animals were all by themselves, so he decided to create a partner for each of them. So each animal got a partner. So the wizard thought this would improve things. Unfortunately, it did not. The land of the Northern Eagle people, that mostly the dragons and the people who lived in the villages did not want these misfits around. So they rounded them all up and moved them down to the Southern Eagle, the land of the Southern Eagle. Well, down in the Southern Eagle, they didn't have any place to put them. So they decided that they would have to move them again to the land of the Eastern Eagle. They thought the magical forest and the fairies that lived in there would absolutely love these animals. Well, the magical forest didn't either. They thought these animals are very awkward and they have to be fed a certain way, and it's a lot of work. So they decided to round them up and walk them all the way to the land of the Western Eagle. Now, the Western Eagle is where all the giants lived, in the giants' village. And the giant said, we have other things to take care of, like our dogs. We don't want to take care of aardvarks and lions and toucans and pelicans. So these misfit animals didn't know where to go. And not only did the wizard create them uniquely, he also created them with feelings. And they became very sad because they didn't have a place to go. So they decided that they were going to put them in the very middle, the very center of where the oak is and the majestic eagle that stands over everything. And there were crows in this tree. They overlooked everything. So what they decided to do is all four lands decided to build a zoo in the middle of the land of the Oak and Eagle Kingdom. And they created pens and places for all these majestic, unique misfits to go. They soon called it the Majestic Misfits Zoo. And people from all over the place would come and visit. And they had people from the Northern Eagle Kingdom, Southern Eagle Kingdom, Eastern Eagle Kingdom, and Western Eagle Kingdom come and serve in the zoo. And it was so awesome to see how the entire Oak and Eagle Kingdom came to love and adore these amazing animals.
Right.
The end. Anything else to add?
No.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us today for the Majestic Misfits episode. I hope that you enjoyed this mindful, educational story, and I hope that you'll walk away thinking about what it means to be special and have strengths. Well, this is Victoria Wolders, your host. I want to thank you again for joining us. If you have any questions, like to connect with me, I would love for you to subscribe to our My Kids Locker newsletter. I look forward to connecting with you, whether it's through social media, through our podcast platforms, or maybe through my website. I hope today and the days to come, you too will be able to create compassion one story at a time. Thank you for joining us for this Empathy Tales episode. Have a good night.